Okay, fine. So if you see last session we did what constructor is and what are the rules that we have to follow in order to write a constructor, right? And also we saw what is use of static keyword, right? We understood scope of variables now, local, static, and non-static. We understood how to write method also and what actually is difference between non-static and static method and also static block. Okay. Fine. Now if you see, we know how to create a class. We know how to add attributes to it, static attribute and non-static attribute, right? We know how to add methods to it, and methods are also of two types, one static and second is non-static, right? Now next is how actually two different classes are related to each other. What is the relation between those two classes? Okay, right? So when we talk about entities, entities will also have relations. Right. The next step is after you identify class, after you identify attribute, after you identify behavior, your next step is to go and identify the relation or relation among different objects. And you'll find that there are following type of relations which are there between different objects. So we'll see what are those relations and how actually they are specified in your classes. First one is composition or aggregation. This is what is first type of relation. Now, how to actually identify that what type of relation it is, whether it is composition or aggregation or other type. You have to see that in case if we are able to say if we are able to relate two objects with part of or has a clause. Okay, it means relation is what? Composition or aggregation. Okay. So these two keywords are important. If you are able to relate those two objects using this, it means relation is of type composition. Okay. For example, you say engine is part of car. So if you see two objects that you have identified here is engine and car, and relation is getting specified using part of, right? So car is actually called as whole and engine is called as part. Is that clear? Clear, right? How to specify this in terms of classes? For this, I'll go and I'll launch my Eclipse. And I'll go and I'll create a class. I'll create a project. Next, click on finish. Let's go here, create a new class, give a name to the class. I'll give it as engine. Click on finish. Create another class here. And we'll name it as car. So now we have two classes, engine and car. Engine is part of car. What we'll do, we'll go to car and we will declare it as an object properties. Hello? I'm sharing, but one second. Are you able to see now? Are you able to see now? I've shared the video. Okay, fine. So if you see here, we have engine and we have car, and the type of relation that we have identified here is what? Part of, right? What you have to do, you have to go and declare engine as part, and it becomes what? Member attribute or member variable. Clear, right? So this is how actually you will go and specify the relation between car and engine, right? So there are two types that you have to always remember when it comes to composition. One is strong composition, right? Strong composition, and second one is weak composition. Now, what is strong composition? Very simple. Part exists only when whole exists, right? That means you will have engine object only if you have car object, right? So you think of car sales unit. You will not have engine lying here and there, right? Number of engines will be dependent on number of cars. Okay. It's clear. Again, no audio. Was it coming earlier when I shared? Okay, one second. I'll do it once again. Are you able to see now? Give me 1 minute. Is this fine now? No. Is this fine? Okay, fine. 1 second. Just give me 1 minute. Yeah, are you able to see? Okay, fine. So if you see, this is what is strong composition. You say instance of engine exists, only a instance of car is there. When it comes to weak composition, it is part can exist without whole, right? You think of car warehouse, where actually assembling of car is done. So you'll find that there you will have definitely buffer engines, and you have to make inventory of those engines also which are not still attached to a car. This is what is weak composition, right? And that needs to be programmatically controlled. You have to keep a constraint there that independent existence of engines will not be allowed. This is what is composition or aggregation. Second type of relation is association. Now here, for example, I say customer buys car. Okay. The relation between customer and car is coined using what? Buys car. Or you say books car. Or okay. Right. So now here it's not part of, it's not has a. I can't say customer is part of car or car is part of customer. Right. So here relationship is of type association. Okay. Now you see how to specify association. I'll go and I'll create that class also. Go to SRC, new class, and I'll have here customer. Click on finish. And in customer, if you see what I'm doing, I'm going and I'm specifying here car. So the way you specify association and composition, it's entirely similar, right? But the type of relation, logical relation between those classes are entirely different. Is that clear? Is that clear? Shalini, is that clear? Okay, good. Now next. When we talk about association, you have two things. One is association can be unidirectional or it can be even bidirectional. Right? Now, for example, here if I ask you a very simple question, if I want to get car instance from customer, we can get it, right? Because we can have here a method, say setter and getters, that helps us to get car if we have customer instance. Is that fine? Eileen, is that fine? Fine. But what about reverse? Can I get customer instance if I have car instance? Can I get? No, right? Okay. So what type of relation it is? It is unidirectional relation. Okay. Why? Because we can get car if we have customer, but we cannot get customer if we have car. We want to ensure just give me 2 minutes. Are you able to hear me? Yeah. Okay, Eileen, is that clear? Audio is clear? Okay, fine. So you see, I was talking about direction of relation. We have unidirectional and we have bidirectional. Okay. So you have to identify whether your requirement is unidirectional or it is bidirectional. If it is bidirectional, what you need to do is you need to ensure that you have here customer, car, and in car also you can go and keep reference of customer. So that if you have car, you can get whose car it is. Okay, right? And here also you can have better and better. This is what is bidirectional and unidirectional relation. Is that clear? When we talk about association, you have to think about this. Other thing that you have to remember in here is cardinality. When we say cardinality, it is also degree of relation. When we say degree of relation, it's like 1 to 1, 1 to many to 1, or many to many. Okay. So if I say one customer can have multiple cars, right? What I need to do? I'll go to customer and I'll create an array of cars here. Is that clear? It's clear, right? So now one customer can have multiple cars, right? This is what is example of one to many. Accordingly, you can go and you can manage relations. Is that clear? I think this is what is second type of relation. Now comes third. Third type of relation is actually dependency. You see, when a method of a class depends on another class and we pass that as reference to that method, we call that relation as dependency. Okay. For example, here we have our class called as car, right? In this we have a method called as public void verify parts, and I am passing here another class called as car verify. Right? And in this car verifier, now car verifier is a different class. I'll just create it here. And I'll write here a method called as public void verify. Some system.out.println. I'll save it. I'll go to customer and now I'll go to car, and now if you see verify part is one of the methods on which you have an attribute called as car verifier. So relation between car verifier and car is what? We are passing it as an argument, right? It is dependency because we are passing it as an argument. It is not association, it is not dependency, it is what? It is not association, it's not composition, it is dependency. So whenever you find this, you should understand that relation between these classes, between verifier, car verifier and car is of what type? It is of type dependency. Okay. Now when we talk about relation between car, relation between car and engine, it is of what type? It's of what type? It is of type composition. Similarly, when we talk about relation between car and customer, what is the type? It is association. Okay, so you need to understand how actually these relations are managed in your code. Is that fine, Eileen, Shalini, Vidya? Good. Now comes fourth type of relation, okay, which is again important, and you might have heard about it. I call it as, or we sometimes call it as generalization. And specialization. Right. So generalization gives you something called as generalized class, also called as superclass, also called as base class. And specialization gives you what? Specialized class. It gives you subclass, and it gives you derived class. Right? And this type of relation in object-oriented terminologies is called as inheritance. Right? It means in order to derive inheritance, we have to do two tasks. One is generalization. Generalization means identify common attribute and behavior of different classes and create a generalized class which should have common attribute and behavior of all identified classes. Okay, and then you go and work on specialization, where you will identify the specific class and you will just specify those attributes which are specific to that particular class. Right? Is that clear? For example, if I say customer pays, customers pays using credit card or check, right? You can understand from here that there are two modes of payment. One is credit card payment and second one is check payment, right? So what we will do, we'll go and identify common attributes between them and we'll create a class called as payment. Okay, so this payment will have payment ID, amount, and the state of payment. Now, whether you pay by using credit card or you pay by check, these are common, right? Okay. So what we did, we created a class with these common attributes. Okay. So this particular class is called as superclass here. Okay, because it is using only those attributes which are common. Is that clear? Now what we will do, we will do specialization. When you do specialization, you end up creating two other classes. You will write here card payment. And instead of repeating these attributes again here, you just go and tell the card attribute is an extension of payment. Card payment is an extension of payment. So automatically what happens, all these attributes become part of card payment and you can just go and specify specific ones. Like I'll go ahead and write string card number. Is that clear? Okay. Same is the case with other one also. You go and create check payment and you specify that check payment extends payment. and then you just go and specify specific attributes which are there. So I'll take a string check number, right? So this type of relation is what is called as inheritance. Okay. So payment becomes here superclass. Card payment is subclass. Check payment is also subclass. Okay. So you can say that your card payment extends payment, check payment extends payment. So this becomes your superclass. And these are what? Subclasses, right? Okay. Is that clear? And important one here is extends keyword. Okay. So you say in Java, extends keyword is used for what? In Java, extends keyword is used for what? For inheritance, right? Okay. Is this clear? So these are 4 different type of relations that you have about classes: composition or aggregation, association, dependency, and inheritance. Right? It's clear. Fine. Now you see types of inheritance. When we talk about types of inheritance, you have following types. One is single level, single inheritance, right? Then you have multi-level, single inheritance, and then you have third one, I'll say single level. I'll tell you all this: multi inheritance, and you have last one. Rest of them all are combination: multi-level, multi inheritance. Right. For example, just now we spoke about classes, right? Which are, I'll take payment here, right? This is my payment class. Okay. And as of now, we have created a class which we call as card payment. This is card payment, right? Now, if you see, card payment actually extends payment, right? Okay. Now, assume that we are getting payments using Visa card and MasterCard, and we want to now have another level. I'll write here. This is credit card payment, and we can go and have another type of payment also called as debit card payment. So if you see now, this credit card payment extends what? Card payment. Is that clear? So you are able to see here that depth is increasing, right? It's multi-level, right? It's clear? Clear, right? If you see what is level of this is second, right? So this type of inheritance is called as multi-level inheritance. Is that clear, Vidya? Shalini? Eileen? Okay, fine. Now when we talk about multi-level inheritance. You have here a class, you say. Let me take here. You say class A. You have here class A. Okay. And you have another class also here. Let me say class B. Now you are creating a third class here. And this is class C. And relation that you have identified is class C extends A and also extends B. This is called as what? Multiple inheritance. Okay, it's clear. This is example of what? This is example of single level multiple inheritance. Level is only one, right? But you have multiple classes. Okay, you have multiple classes. So this is called as what? Single level multiple inheritance. Right? So please understand, in Java this is not possible. Okay, it's clear. In Java this is not at all possible. You can never have this. It means multi-level inheritance, multiple inheritance is not possible in Java. So out of these four, can you tell me what is possible, what is not possible? Single level single inheritance, possible. Multi-level single inheritance, possible. What about single level multi inheritance? Not possible, right? And what about multi-level multi inheritance? Not possible. So these two are not possible. It says, so whenever multiple inheritance comes, Java says we don't support multiple inheritance at all. Okay, because there are certain issues which may come, like class A and class B, both may have a behavior with same name. So what to you say use in class C? Problem of duplicate names, problem of duplicacy, right? In order to avoid that, Java says we don't support multiple inheritance at all. Okay, is that clear? Right. So let me go and show you now how actually you'll be implementing it. I'll go here. I have car verifier, customer, engine. So when customer will buy, he will pay. So we'll have a class called as payment. Now what is relation between payment and customer? Customer pays, right? Or customer makes payment. It's association. Okay. Now here I'll take int payment ID double amount. Okay. This becomes a super class. I'll go and I'll create subclass. You see, class. I'll write here card payment. You can add it here, super class. You can browse here, or if not, you can directly go here about extends payment. So this is how actually you will be implementing inheritance. Now I cannot write one more class here, payment comma car or something. It's not possible because Java does not support it. You cannot write another class after payment. Okay, but yes, multi-level is possible. I can go here and I can create a class and say it is credit card. And this extends what? Card payment. So this is possible. Right. So you see here, credit card extends card, and card itself extends what? Payment. Right. So this is possible. This is what is called as multi-level. Okay. The difference is there between multiple and multi-level inheritance. Is that clear? Clear, right? Okay, fine. So are you able to see the complete case here? Car, you will have engine and customer, right? Relation between car and engine is composition, and relation between car and customer is association. Now we'll go to customer and car for bidirectional. We can take here payment also, right? So relation between customer and payment is what now? Association. Okay, because we can't say that payment is part of customer. Customer has a payment, right? We can say customer pays for car. Okay, is that clear? Right, and then use of extend keyword. Extend keyword is what is used in order to inherit. Limitation of inheritance in Java, you are aware. Java does not support multiple inheritance at all. Okay, is it clear, Vidya, Eileen? So can I say that you are clear with now all these 4 steps, that is identify object, identify attributes, identify behavior, identify relation. You are clear, right? Relations are of 4 types that we have seen: association, composition, dependency, and generalization and specialization. Okay, right? We have seen keywords that we have to follow in order to implement, and in this session we have seen how these different type of relations are implemented or are represented in Java. Is that clear? Any confusion? Is there any confusion? Okay, good. So you can assume that we are almost going to be next session we will be over with very important part. I will be discussing about inheritance in detail, right? Various aspects of inheritance that we have to take care. We will discuss in detail types of classes like abstract class, concrete class, right? And we will discuss about interfaces. Okay. So this is what will be objective of next session. And once you are aware till there, you can say now you know nuts and bolts of Java. Okay. And then we will start implementing collections. We will start implementing threads. We will start implementing database programming. We will start doing XML programming. Right? Is that clear? Fine. So for today, I feel this is okay. You have no assignments as of now again. I'm just waiting for 2 more sessions. After that, you will have lots of assignments. Just go through and try out here, because focus should be there on we understand composition, we understand association, and we are clear that composition and association are represented in same way, right? Dependency we can identify now. If I give you a class, you'll be able to identify dependency, right? So let me go and take one. Now, what is relation between, you say, locale and string? Can you identify? For example, to uppercase and locale. What is locale itself in the class, right? So you are passing it as an argument in one of the behavior of string. So relation between string and locale is what? It is dependency. Okay? You have just seen, right? Is it clear? I was talking about relation between string and locale. Is that clear? What type of relation is this? dependency. Okay, so now you should know like how actually you will be using the relations, how to set different type of relations. Is that clear? Feel that material is shared with you, right? Fine. You are getting videos on time or still one, two videos, previous videos are pending? It was because of some technical problem. It was not getting uploaded, but they have found a way now and they are doing it. Okay. We'll meet in next session. Yeah. So they have found a way and they are doing it. Google has still not resolved that issue which is there. Fine. So next session onwards will be all practicals. Okay. We will see some case studies. Our case study frame is already ready. We are going to complete this case study. Okay. Right. It contains all different type of relations, right? So we will take some use cases and using these classes we will complete those use cases. So you will have understanding that how to create instance, what happens if I'm creating instance of subclass, how superclass attributes are getting initialized, right? All this we will see in next session. Is that clear? Eileen, is that clear? And you don't worry, once your base is good on Java, after that it will not take much time in order to complete JDBC. We will take hardly one session and we'll be completing it because you know core now. So I can just go and write code without telling you why I'm writing class, why I'm writing this. Okay. So this is what you need to remember. Okay. Thank you. I'll end the session and next session we will start up with a case study where I will show you what all are the issues which you have to handle when it comes to managing relation among different classes programmatically.